Before TV and home video was popular, if you wanted to watch a film, you had to go outside. Luckily outside, because there was not many people had TVs, there was loads of cinemas. This book chronicles all the local cinemas to me. As you can see, there's loads and loads of them. There must be a good 100 or something in there. The very first one we're going to be looking at is the Palace Cinema in Hanley, which is directly behind me. It's a cinema from the 30s. And like what we found many cinemas, it's turned into a bingo hall. If you actually look, you can see where the posters would have been. There would have been like those, probably would have been 2 posters for Casablanca or The Beast with 5 Fingers or something like that. Where it says Gala Bingo, that would have said the Palace. But yeah, let's go see if we can find all the cinemas or some of the cinemas in this book, and let's go. Oh wow, just found another one. This used to be an Odeon when I was a lad. But according to this book, it was a Regent. Look at this for an amazing triple bill. Lady Hawk, rapping. I really hope that's a canon film. And as we all know, James Bond 007, A View to a Kill. I don't think it was called A View to a Kill, was it? It's just called View to a Kill. I don't know what title they put up there. Some poor sucker put way more letters up than they needed to be. Like I say, this used to be an Odeon. Remember seeing Ghostbusters there. Remember got my sister dragged me all the way up to Hanley when my local cinema and got it on. I also distinctly remember seeing the Karate Kid 3. I don't know why that always sticks on my head. I also as well remember queuing right there where that Grease poster is. I remember queuing up what felt like forever. It was probably half an hour. I remember I was going to see Jaws 3D, one of my first 3D film, but wasn't old enough to go and see it, and I think the staff clocked in on that, and they asked me my age, and I did the classic try and make myself old by using maths, and it all went terribly wrong, and they said, get out my sight, don't ever come to the cinema again, and I didn't. No, I did really. But let's see how many more of the cinemas we can find in this book. Let's go. Oh, we stumbled on a good one now. This used to be the ABC or the Canon, depending on which time period you grew up in. But look at that for a lineup there. You've got Richard Pryor's Brewster's Millions, Steve Guttenberg's Police Academy, and Mickey Rooney's The Care Bears movie. Tell you what, I'd go see those 3 films today. About some good triple bills in this book. But yeah, this is a classic sort of high town council planning that we all went to Hull. They kept saying, oh, we need to regenerate the area and bring new jobs, and that we're going to build brand new shops. You think, oh yeah, so they've actually knocked down a good cinema, and 5 years later, this is what it's like now. It's just a load of old weeds and everything like that, but it's not all bad, because I saved a little tiny bit of the steps and I rescued one of the cinema seats. Someone who's even more of a fan of this cinema than me, and they actually rebuilt a full working replica that actually shows films. And actually the most amazing part about this replica is it's in this guy's back garden.
Most people are happy with just a shed or greenhouse in their back garden, but not Anderson Jones from Stoke-on-Trent. Oh no, he's built his very own cinema.
How incredible's that? But some of my favourite films I saw here were John Carpenter's Escape from LA, Philip Lewis's The Saint, and George Lucas's The Phantom Menace. Let's go find some more.
Remember, stop near the curtain, not on it. That's the way.
Just used me a green cross code there. It's the best way to cross the road. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen.
Always use the green cross code, because I won't be there when you cross the road.
We've just found an amazing Odeon. Look at that there. It's some cool architecture there. So Art Deco stuff going on there, whatever that means. Never actually went to that Odeon because I'm not quite that old, not yet, but always loved Odeon for quite a few reasons. One of the very first multiplex I ever went to was in Odeon, and you can always guarantee if there's a film that comes out like Geely or Punisher Warzone that no other cinema will touch, the Odeon always has it. Let's go to the Odeon down the road. Oh, now we're getting serious, folks. There's a really good entry in the book now. It's cool for two reasons. It's the first multiplex in this book, and it's also the first cinema that is still open. And I should really put an asterisk by the still open phrase, because even though it opened in 1989 and the very first film I saw it was Ghostbusters 2, I've been fortunate enough to see more modern fare like the brand new Ben Hur and the Founder. Its future is in doubt because a really soulless Cineworld has opened up there with a really terrible red and black interior and blurred screens, but let's go see if we can see anything else. We're chalking them off the list now. There's some pretty good films in this, pretty good cinemas in this book, and we managed to track them down. This is the Palace in Tunstall. I had to use Columbo-like research or the zoom feature on my phone to check out those films were Deadly Blessing, the Wes Craven film, and Lady and the Tramp. Remember when you could release old school Disney films to cinemas? Couldn't identify the car. We need Ed China type to be able to figure out that little Columbo type mystery. But even though this cinema closed at about 1990, I think, or something like that, it's kind of embarrassed to say I never actually went there, but I knew a couple of people that did. But when the cinema was open, and I think they kind of knew it was probably on its last legs, they were going to wanted to turn it into like a cinema museum with all old posters and projectors and that. But because of red tape or somebody in power decided to shoot the idea down.
Shoot it down. It's not as loud.
Idea.
And it got turned into some grotty flats. There's the picture there, so you can compare it in its heyday and what it is now. I think it's more just the high traffic volume that's made it look like that. I used to know somebody who lived a couple of streets away, and even though the cinema had long closed down, I used to fantasise about, we could go around the cinema if it was still open and could watch Duel at 2 o'clock in the afternoon or something like that. And fun fact, I knew two separate people that went to see Young Guns there. Let's see if we can find any more. Well, it's not actually in this book, but recently somebody's put this tribute to all the old cinemas. Wrexham, that was just on the road there. It's, when graffiti goes good. It's nowhere to be found in this book, but this is my current local cinema, and it's got something really cool inside. Let's take a look. Join me. It's not actually in that book, but in my local cinema that's still open, the one that I still use. There's this amazing mural that's meticulously hand-painted by one guy. Let's take a look at it and see how many films you can spot. Steve Martin there in a really classic underrated film. Bonus points if you can get that one. It really doesn't do it justice, really. I should have brought the other camera down really and sort of try to get some better shot. It's such a long sort of area. It's about 200 or 300 yards long, and it's really high up, and there's people always constantly walking around you, and because there's like a lot of shops and businesses there's always people coming in and out, so it kind of makes it really tricky for filming. Great Western there, the old Duke there, old John Wayne. Old Hitchcock there. Some people have never heard of him apparently.
Psycho? No, I never heard of it. Hitchcock, is that what you said? That's so cool. I never heard of the man.
Clint Eastwood. Have you ever seen Scott Eastwood? They look exactly the same. There's Steve McQueen there. Patton. Always think of the CBS Fox all-time greats every time I see Patton. There's a good old Chuck Heston there. Won't tell you what film it is. Oh, there's Kevin Costner. Don't think I've ever really clocked them. There's one of my all-time idols there, Orson Welles. He cropped up earlier in this video. How cool was that? It's pretty awesome, eh? Over here there was something really cool. The new Dax Shepard film, which is an update to the 70s film Chips. I think this spot right here was one of the best promotional things I've ever seen. It was a 7-foot standee for the new film Chips, like I say, and it's not there now, which is a shame, isn't it? Because it's right here in my bedroom. Check out this bad boy. Turns out my local cinema had a standee they didn't need because they weren't actually showing Chips, and they got sent this by accident, and I asked the manager if I could have it, and he said yeah, do whatever you want with it, and luckily I managed to be able to transport it all the way back here. And how amazing is this? Check out the film, by the way. It's pretty darn funny, and as always, keep it locked.